Linangan Art Residency is an alternative art school. It is an intensive program na incorporating art history classes, self-awareness, and materials and techniques classes, as well as peer and mentoring, peer-to-peer critiquing. And yung setup po natin dito is co-living, co-working, and co-learning. So kahit kami po na nagpa-facilitate nitong program, ang dami po naming natututunan sa kanila and sa isa't isa. So hindi lang po sila yung minentor. Kami rin po minentor nila. So yung pangalan, their batch name po, sinong gustong magkwento about your batch name? Ayan, si Patch. This is Pancho Alvarez from Camarines Sur. So, he'll talk about their batch name.
Si Orland actually nagsimula to gather us, tapos pag-usapan yung batch name. Tapos, there were a number of concepts that were floated. And then I think yung pinaka nag-resonate sa amin yung habagat na word. Kasi dumating kami dito, bumabagyo. Well, hindi naman bumabagyo, pero maulan. And most of our stay naman dito, maulan, hindi rin kami makabasketball madalas. So habagat, from the word habagat, nakoy namin yung word na bagat. Apparently, per region that we're from, iba-iba yung meaning niya. So for example, dun sa Bicol, it means na harangan, and sa Bisaya or Hiligay nun ba, yung shapeshifter. So I think, yun nga, yung etymology niya of habagat to yung shape-shifting concept of it was very appealing to us. So in a matter of minutes, yun yung napag-decide namin na bagat. And yung image naman, yung logo namin is, alam mo yun when you watch the news, tapos may parang infrared version of the bird's eye view of the storms. So si Renz yung, si Renz? So si Renz yung nag-design nito, so shoutout lang kay Renz. And so ito yung logo namin as a batch. Tapos kung mapapansin nyo, gusto namin maging Filipino all throughout. So instead of using batch, ginamitan namin ng word na bagwisan. Yung bagwisan is from the word bagwis, yung feathers. So parang bagwisan means birds of a feather. So instead of batch, yan, Bagwisang Bagat yung tawag sa amin. Thank you.
We have our panel to give their feedback on the residents' works. And we're honored to have Leslie Ann Cao. Her practice is a series of divergent processes, thoughtfully exploring the interplay of materiality, fiction, and the art of exhibition making. With a BFA from the University of the Philippines College of Fine Arts, Leslie Ann's work has graced exhibitions and screenings across the globe, from Indonesia and Malaysia to Singapore and beyond. Joining Leslie is our another panelist, Gregory Halili, a Filipino-born artist shuttling between Manila and New Jersey. Gregory is renowned for his meticulously detailed artworks, which find their canvas on unique surfaces like vintage seashells. His creations serve as windows into the rich tapestry of Filipino history, expertly portraying saints and historical figures in miniature forms. My name is Gwen Bautista of Monte. Gwen is a curator, art journalist, critic. And she's a seasoned art journalist covering exhibitions, biennials, and art fairs. As the director of Mono 8 Gallery and senior editor at Artvisor, she's a major mover in the contemporary art scene. We'll be starting with Benedict Simbulan.
So good morning po sa lahat. Salamat sa Linangan, sa lahat ng nakapunta sa panelist. Thank you po. So ako si Benedict Simbulan from Antipolo, Rizal. And ito yung mga works ko na nagawa dito sa residency for 2 months. So yun, sa aking mga pyesa, nostalgia at mga kadikit na feelings tulad ng longing, warmth, etc. ang gusto kong i-explore at i-share. So parang katulad nung sa teaser video, kung napanood nyo, ang bawat pyesa ay imbitasyon tumingin sa ating mga alaala. So, sa tingin ko, mahalaga ang pagbalik sa tanaw sa ating similar na mga alaala dahil dito maaari natin matagpuan kung gaano magkaugnay ang ating mga buhay. Yung similar na mga memories na na-associate natin sa mga imahe ng mga kahapon, parang mas gusto kong tawagin na shared memories. So, example nung tinutukoy ko yung sa mga similar na alaala natin, sa mga, kunyari yung mga naalala natin pag yung may ganong damo na nakikita, na parang sa mga probinsya, siguro natin siya mas nakikita. Siguro yung shared memories natin sa ganyan is yung pang mga alaala ng kabataan, yung paglalaro sa hapon sa probinsya, tsaka yung mga preskong hangin, mga ganong bagay. Isa pang example siguro is parang dito sa yung mga images ng mga aso. Siguro nagpapaalala siya ng mga panahong may mga alaga tayo na tuwang-tuwa pa tayo panoorin at kalaruin. Mga panahon na parang mas simple pa yung pangailangan at saka saya natin. So yun, sa mga shared memories and connectedness na ma-feel natin, makita sana natin na pare-pareho lang naman tayong mga tao dito. At doon matutunan natin yung mas malalim na empatya at pagkakaunawa sa isa't isa. And sa pagtagal, sa mas malalim na koneksyon at pagkakaunawa sa hirap at ginhawa, maramdaman natin na hindi ka o tayo nag-iisa. So, yun. To summarize lang, parang sa pagtingin sa kahapon, sa mga buhay natin, mahanap natin yung koneksyon na mapaghugutan natin ng pag-asa at lakas para magpatuloy na hanapin mga hinahanap natin sa mundong ito. So yun. So ilan yun sa mga gusto kong sabihin at i-share sa pamagitan ng language of art. Kaya nabubuo yung mga ganito kong pyesa. Parang at this point siguro sa buhay ko, parang painting yung yung ikigai, parang Japanese term siya, concept na siya yung nasa gitna nung what I love, what I am good at, what I can be paid for, tsaka yung what the world needs na nakikita ko. Sa ngayon, gusto ko rin yung pang overexpose yung lighting ng mga images. Kasi tingin ko ganun natin nare-remember din yung mga parang warm memories natin. Parang malakas yung tama ng liwanag tsaka yung source ng liwanag. So, minsan pinupush ko rin yung ibang elements pa yung subjects na somehow nagkakaroon ng parang surreal na dating yung mga pyesa. So tulad nung pag-fade ng objects, parang sign siya or symbol ng fleeting of time. Minsan, yung candle lights ginagamit ko rin, sinasama ko sa works kasi parang in a way, parang nag-symbolize siguro ng life na mag-contemplate din sa buhay. Na yung buhay parang kandila. Kaya siguro sa mga birthdays hanggang yung kamatayan, ganyan, andun yung kandila sa mga celebrations na yun. So, ayun, continuous lang yung learning siguro and sharing through visual language. And so, yun lang po. Thank you.
Hi, Benedict. Gusto ka namin i-congratulate sa pagpe-present at pag-share sa amin ng trabaho mo.
Thank you po.
Ako gusto kong sabihin na para sa akin, naging effective yung paintings mo, yung techniques na ginamit mo sa pagko-communicate nung sinasabi mo. So for me, win yun na gusto ko yung softness tsaka yung warmth na nakikita ko dun sa paintings na tinanong ko siya kahapon kung memories yung gusto niyang i-capture sa images na ginagawa niya. Bakit hindi na lang photography? Pero looking at his work, naiintindihan ko kung bakit painting at bakit ganitong techniques specifically na to me, para silang gumagalaw in the same way na yung memories ay hindi naman talaga photographic. Hindi sila 100% true. Gumagalaw sila, nagbabago sila. So nakikita ko yun dun sa paraan na ginawa mo yung paintings mo. So yun na lang muna.
I think you accomplished what you wanted to say from materiality to techniques. I mean, I feel some of the subjects here parang may iconography. Like say, for example, that grass or that plant right there. For me, parang hindi lang siya grass. Eh. I mean, you're saying there's so much more into that. Parang there's an ethereal quality to much of the works. Parang there's a glow. It's not just directly from. It falls between parang photography and memory.
Yes, sir.
The grass looks like fireworks. There's certain monumentality. Like say that table, it's not just a table, but there's it's a place. It's really it feels like we're looking at certain memory that's just there.
Yes.
But then it could also be somehow looking at like a dream. Like at first, I don't know what it is.
Sige, sir.
Parang siyang
Yes,
until
sir.
you get closer, then you realize it's. There's so many interpretations. Could be spirits, could be fireflies or stars. I think you're falling to a lot of boundaries. It's not just representation. There's certain elements. Like I'm actually just curious. Why is this painting the only one with
Yung text.
text? And for me, it feels like music kasi hindi ko maintindihan.
No, sir.
What you're saying there. I don't know the words, but there's something about that na interesting, or especially with that ghost-like figure, and it feels like that's painted right there.
Sir,
So
ito mga dito yung mga
I especially love that last interior. Very very nicely done. Not overly
sige, sir.
detailed or painted,
Yes, sir.
but very light strokes. So, it works, and I think it's nice that you're exploring, I mean, from that to that. So,
Thank you, sir.
Magandang umaga po sa lahat. Ako nga pala si Voltron Orogan from Leyte. I'm 24 years old. Nag-start po ako magpasok ng art. High school pa ako. 2018. First kong medium po is charcoal portrait. Then gumamit din ako ng mga soap pastel, crayons, and oil pastel noong 2018. Yan po ang pinag-practice kong una. Then 2019 to 2020 po, senior high school po ako doon. Kakagraduate lang. Then doon ko po gumamit ng medium na acrylic. First ko po, pinapractice ko po yung material. Then hindi na po ako nag-college kasi sa totoo, tamad ako sa paralan. Hindi talaga ako pumapasok nung high school pa ako taga senior high. Kaya hindi na ako mag-proceed ng college. Nag-focus lang talaga ako sa art. Kumbaga, isa po sa dahilan hindi ako pumapasok. Kasi ako mahiyain. Kumbaga, kada sa senior high to, sa high school to senior high, kada buwan po, kada isang buwan, dito talaga ako pumapasok. Lagi po akong ma-absent. Kaya sa pagdating ng grades, baba ng grades ko. Sa arts lang talaga ako nakapasa. Kasi pagdating ko po din ng Linangan, parang ang laki ng bago. Kumbaga sa mahihain akong tao, gusto ko pong i-confident yung sarili ko. O na yung mga pesa ko, kumbaga sa akin, hindi lang maganda, kumbaga may laman or may kwento na, mga ganyan. Kaya pinapractice ko po siya na maigi, kahit paunti-unti po. So, kadalasan po sa mga gawa ko is yung nasa lugar namin sa probinsya, like mga dayami, or sa mga farmer po sa aming lugar. Kasi taga-probinsya po ako. Kadalasan po sa aming lugar, mga ganito po, mga palayan. So, ito naman pong first kong gawa. Title po nito is Palaboy sa Panaboy. Kaya tinatawag ko pong itong Palaboy sa Panaboy kasi itong tinatawag kong palaboy is itong maya, nga ibon. Kumbaga, hindi na siya natatakot sa panaboy kasi tawag dito. Kumbaga, itong panaboy is lagi po itong naka-steady sa palayan. Kumbaga, na ano na sila. Sanay na sila na hindi na matakot. So, sa tagal ng panahon po, kumbaga yung ibon or maya hindi na natatakot sa panaboy kasi yun eh. Lagi na siyang nakatawag dito. Steady sa tawag dito sa palayan. So, ang title po nito is Pahinga. Kasi na-title ko po itong Pahinga kasi yung kwento nito is yung kapag pag nagtawag dito, nagagarab ka, naabutan ka na ng hapon, magpapahinga ka. Nilagay ko yung panggarab dito sa ilalim ng palay para bukas naman. Oo. Kasi pahinga po, tulad ng araw, nagpapahinga rin. Po. So, yun po. Then, ito naman po, sarili ko pong experience to o karanasan, yung pagbubuhat. Ang title po nito is ang may bigat na kahapon. Kaya po mabigat na kahapon kasi naranasan ko po yung bigat ng pagbuhat ng palay. Pagbuhat ng palay lang para lang yung makapera ka lang, mga ganyan. Mga pangailangan sa buhay. So, kaya po ko po itong tinatitle na mabigat na kahapon kasi past na po siya, yung dati kong naranasan. Mabigat, nagpasan, then kahapon is past. Then, kumbaga, kung sunset po siya ito, kasi ang hapon po nga word sa amin is paglubog ng araw. Kaya po, sunset po. Kadalasan sa gawa ko. Then, ito naman po, title nito is Saya ng Kahapon. Opo, dahil pagkatapos po ng harvest o pag-tracer ng palay, naglalaro po ako dati, kahit ngayon mga ibang kabataan na rin, nagtatumbling dito, naglalaro. Kumbaga, memories ko na lang ito. Kaya, ang saya po ng kahapon na ma-realize mo na, kumbaga, yung kabataan mo, hindi mo naramdaman yung kati ng dayami. Importante, masaya ka. Mga ganun. So, nilagyan ko po yung mark ng tao, kung makikita nyo. Then, ito pong last, tawag dito, lipay na kapahuay. Lipay na kapahuay. Sa word po yan na Bisaya. So, sa Tagalog po yan is masaya na kapahinga. Kasi ito po, masaya na kapahinga. Mga farmer po kasi sa amin, masaya na sila pagkatapos ng mag-harvest ng palay. Kumbaga ito pong dayami. Pag nakikita po natin yung mga dayami natin sa probinsya, kumbaga tapos na yung mag-ani. Nakapahinga na yung mga farmer, masaya na sila sa 3 months or 4 months na pag-aalaga ng palay para lang sa pamilya o pa sa mamayang Pilipino. Lalo na pag tawag dito, maganda yung ani nila. So masaya sila, nag-celebrate sila. Na-observe ko doon sa aming lugar, sa palayan na doon sila nagsasayaw ng mga mag-asawa. Basta nakapahinga na sila. So yung word po na, ang dagami po kasi para sa akin, baga nagsimbolo siya na pahinga. Pahinga ng mga farmer. Kasi tapos na sila sa trabaho nila, sa sakripisyo nila sa pag-uuma. Kaya ginawa ko po itong series, kumbaga gusto kong ipakita kung anong ganda or anong saya doon sa aming probinsya or anong kwento na maganda kung gusto ko ipakita dito sa aking piyesa. So yun lang po. Maraming salamat.
Hi, Voltron. Kung
Yes.
gusto ko itang batiin sa pagtapos ng residency at pagpe-present sa amin nung trabaho mo, maraming salamat.
Thank you.
Ako yung initial kong yung comment, yung panguna kong comment ay na para sa akin nakikita ko yung confidence mo doon sa trabaho. Pag nakikita ko yung trabaho mo, tapos nakikita ko na may kakayanan na mag-commit dun sa parang iniisip mong project or vision para sa isang grupo or series ng trabaho. At na para sa akin malaking bagay yung kapasidad na maging vulnerable, na alam kong hindi madaling ikwento yung mga kinikwento mo patungkol sa lugar nyo, ganun. Yung gusto ko lang sigurong makita or itanong sa'yo ay kung ano yung intention mo dun sa subject matter O kasi kung curious ako kung gaano baka specific o yung gusto mong ikwento. Kasi ngayon may privilege kami na makausap ka patungkol dun sa tungkol saan yung trabaho, tungkol sa kwento mo, ganun. Pero iniisip ko lang na kung kunyari yung tumitingin ay hindi ka kasama, parang gusto mo ba na kaya nilang makita na yung mga kwento na to ay galing sa Leyte, for example. Yung ganong pagka-specific. Tapos yung isa ko lang ding comment ay tingin ko pwedeng maiba yung pagkakasunod-sunod or yung presentation ng paintings kasi nakita ko nung nag-share ka tungkol sa kanila na meron siyang kind of narrative. Ayun, so siguro may mas okay na sequence na pagkakasunod-sunod.
First, I like your name. It reminds me of my childhood memories. But in all seriousness, congratulations. Kasi this is very labor-intensive. A lot of work. And then there's certain, parang again, iconography with all these representation here. And I agree with Leslie na it's hard to bring up certain subjects, especially if it's personal. And actually that's a good thing in a way kasi it becomes who you are. As artists, we want everything to be talagang coming from within. Your treatment of color, very very old master, very very. When you speak of sunset, I'm thinking of like the bright orange, bright colors. But with this type of twilight, para siyang very very somber, which falls within your what you're trying to say. In terms of mga handling, like say for example, I kind of wish you said this is more celebration. I feel like it has that bittersweet. Everything else, it works. Especially with this one, merong in a way may parang kind of spirituality with this. Hey, what you did, where you came from. From afar, mukha siyang cross But congratulations.
So dati po, yung plano ko talaga dito sa painting na to is may tawag dito yung nilubugan ng kalabaw na shape. Kumbaga may kunting tubig na nag-reflect yung sun. Kumbaga yung mark ng kalabaw is nag-form ng heart. Pero hindi ko lang talaga nilagay. Kumbaga dito na lang siguro. Kaya ng heart dito kahit hindi masyadong form ng heart. So kumbaga yun, yung mahal nila yung tawag nila.
Congrats.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Ana. I'm from Cagayan de Oro City, Northern Mindanao. I'm in awe of full-time artists and what you do, and especially in this economy, siguro. So, my time in Linangan is it's a new experience for me to do full-time studio work. So, this is actually the first time na I made more tangible work, which was more than two. Because ang background ko is I've only had ever parang 3 other group shows. And then most of them have incorporations of video mapping and also the use of textile. So currently sa Linangan, meron akong 2 locations. So this is the first location sa Bahay Kubo. And then later on, mas more doon yung details sa work ko, sa both installations. And then basically, ang work that I tackled here in Linangan is about memories, specifically childhood memories. I'm usually the one listening. So nakikinig palagi sa mga communities, nakikinig sa mga taong oppressed. So I guess in Linangan, I turned the tables on myself to do work that is very personal and also very parang ayun, tangible and also very meaningful for me. So ayun. So I guess pwede tayo munang to take a few seconds to look before we proceed sa kawayan.
Pwede bang pumasok sa loob yung audience?
Pwede dito.
Okay.
So, ayan. It's a living installation. So, no matter how much I clean it, may mga alikabok and spiders even after a day ng paglinis or like within the day. So, inaccept ko siya that it will never be parang as pristine. So, I guess in figuring that out, siguro baka ganun din yung memories. You try to look back on it, it's never really as neat and organized as we would like it to be. So, yun. Hello. So, again, so this is parang, I guess, yung first location where I felt where kung yung bahay kubo is where memories are made, I guess. This is where medyo mas nirefine ko yung concept ng memories. And looking into the works, sa Linangan, I made 14 small works, including poetry and yung video mapping. And then most of the works are molded textile using katsa and canvas. Tapos, I also used aerosol to give a sense of form or maharden yung objects. So all of the pieces are also hollow inside. And I guess Linangan, very important for me is yung exploration and experimentation because sobrang maximize ko yung idea of I'm already here, why not do something that's really parang super out of my comfort zone and something that's very, again, meaningful for me and something parang I've never done before. So all this from logistics to physical installation of work to concept development is parang the first time I did something that's of this magnitude. So it's not much, pero ayun, I'm very proud of it kasi very in tune siya din kung ano yung core ko, which is writing, which is ito family, which is I guess gusto ko sana din i-impart yung parang humanizing aspect of technology or the use of technology kahit I'm someone who is parang very technologically interested and inclined and isa siya sa interests ko, so I'm always sort of looking into how or parang the latest developments of tech. So ayun. I guess when doing the work, it felt also kind of therapeutic for me. And even when, throughout the installation is individually from the letters from my grandmother, in-extract ko letter by letter to make an individual alphabet. And then I started collecting her letters from 2009. And so, makita yung progression from then until 2 weeks before Linangan. So, of course, maging less legible na yung handwriting as you grow older. So, yun. So, in-extract ko siya and I made it sort of bigger than life or bigger than what it actually was. So, ayun. And also, and it's a very personal work, personal project na I intend to parang still continue and still develop sa mga next iterations. So, ang title niya is In Medias Res, so in the middle of things. So, in the next iteration, siguro I plan to incorporate more doon na yung community work side and figuring out siguro how that will come into place sa mga next niya na and future niya na mga engagements. So I'm very thankful for Linangan and to all the mentors and even my peers na merong mata at tenga at a time when parang I'm still discovering what I'm doing, really. And I'm still looking into the things that interest me. Even the process itself is parang still in parang experimental discovery phase. So, ayun. So, I guess kung tanong kung sino yung audience ko, I guess whoever it resonates to or whoever parang the forms speak to. And then, hindi ko pa siya super intended to be replicated as is for now, parang in a gallery or institutional setting. Kasi parang hindi pa rin ako ganun happy with the like refinement of the work. Pero refinement will always come many, many years pa as a practicing artist na. So, super masaya ako to look at the trial and error of the work and to look at its weaknesses and to look at also its strengths and discoveries. So, ayun. So, at Linangan, I really parang espoused na I didn't want to make work na parang super malinis or super maging perfect because I'm still in that super development phase. So, this time, ako naman yung pinapakinggan, like what we're doing now, because this is like a new experience for me. So, ayun. Thank you.
Very structured. Parang siyang sculpture, in a way. It is a sculpture, what you did outside. I'm still trying to absorb, honestly, what it all means for me. But I think that's good as art because you don't want naman very direct. What you wanted to say. It's nice to have so many layers of so many language that you can, and also so many audience. Like you said, it's up to the person, how it connects to them. So for me, yeah, it brings back the old Amor Solo, bucolic, Bahay Kubo. But then when you get closer, you have all these hidden meanings in there, like a hidden language. I'm still trying to absorb that. And it's white. I was talking to Leslie about being, like the agio, something you can't control. Kasi that's part of the work. The beauty comes from stuff you can't control. So, but congrats with your progress. I know there's you're a young artist. There's going to be a lot of lifetime. So congrats. This is a good start for you. And thanks for showing us.
Nag-agree ako kay Gregory. Yung pinaka na-appreciate ko ay na pag tinitignan ko yung trabaho mo sa both locations, nakikita ko yung tabang at openness na mag-explore ng iba-ibang forms and materials. And excited din akong makita kung paano pa siya mag-progress. Kasi parang yung curious pa ako dun sa yung refinement na as you mentioned, na parang how legible do you want certain things to be, yung forms, the text, the use of text, at yung presentations din. Parang may in-between pa na parang how open are you really to dirt or how not open. Parang how much control are you trying to exert or how little. Parang how much would you want the viewer to really see the work or not, like yung choice na matigas siya, ganito yung kulay versus it's covered but maybe with a softer fabric, things like that. So ayun, pero tingin ko yung strength mo na nakikita ko ngayon na na-appreciate ko ay yung nakikita ko nga na may willingness and desire to experiment and explore.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alyssa Reynales from Quezon Province. I am 22 years old. Nag-graduate ko lang po ng college last July. College of Teacher Education, Bachelor of Culture and Art Education. So, nag-start po ang art practice ko nito last year. So, before, high school ako, sali sa contest, sa mga competition, accept ng mga commission, para ma-enhance yung skills ko through visual art. Nag-try din ako ng iba't ibang medium like circle, watercolor, acrylic.
Last year ko lang po na-discover itong oil paint since kapapasok ko lang po ng art scene last 2020. Na-join po ako ng mga exhibit sa local and nagmamanage din po ako, nag-organize ng mga local exhibits sa mga youth. Then, ang story po ng piece kong itong abstract, during my life crisis, depression, gusto ko may divert lang yung sarili ko since art block ako last year. Dinivert ko yung sarili ko, may nakita akong watercolor na luma, papel. Then, gusto ko lang free-flowing, gusto ko lang malaya akong napipinta nang walang dinidikta ng mga tema. So, lumabas po itong style na to na parang wavy, na may up and down. So, I really love the choices ng colors po na bright. Nag-focus lang po ako sa warm colors. And, ayun, ang ganda ng combination. In short, in love po ako dun sa result. In short po, ito pong mga ginagawa kong style na to is art therapy po para sa akin. Kaya ito po itutuloy ko sa future. Then, may another piece po ako dito sa loob. Since aspirant educator po ako, art educator, so this is my personal wish po. Kung mapapansin niyo po sa labas, bakit dalawa yung style ko? Dahil po, na-discover ko po dito sa Linangan na kaya po pala ako na art block before kasi kailangan ko po palang ma-divert yung art practice ko sa dalawang pyesa or dalawang style. Ang una ko po kasing ginawa is itong figurative na ang bilis ko mapagod, ang bilis ko kasi this is maraming hinihingi yung pyesa na sa technicality, susundin mo yung kulay. Napansin ko na kailangan ko palang i-divert yung sarili ko into another piece. Kaya po yung abstract, magsasabay ko po silang ginagawa. Na kapag napapagod ako mag-representation, lilipat po ako sa abstract. So, naiituloy ko po yung practice ko. Doon ko po na-discover na para po mag-continue yung practice ko, kailangan po dalawa yung mapag-aralan ko. My last piece is, kung mapapansin nyo, pinagsama ko po yung figurative representational sa abstract. Kasi challenge po talaga ako na, what if pagsamahin mo ng iisa lang, hindi dalawa? So ito po yung result na pinagsama ko yung dalawa. Mother and child, before, mahilig po ako sa mother and child painting. So lola ko po siya, ako po yung bata kasi pinaglihi po ako sa Santo Niño. Magka-partner po kasi itong dalawang to. So para mag-heal, papasok po ako sa education kasi healing po sa akin yung pagtuturo. Yun lang po. Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Good morning po.
Alyssa?
Yes po, Alyssa.
Tama ba?
Reynales.
Alyssa. Congratulations sa works mo.
Thank you.
I like that you were able to find like two-prong approach on your practice. Kasi minsan, di ba, parang may mga artists na like you're burdened with a certain style na gusto mo talaga. But at the same time, like wala naman din nagsasabi na bawal gawin yung ganito or bawal gawin yung ganyan. What's more important, I think, is like yung commitment mo for the direction that you want to take. Now, going back to like painting, so like a lot of things that you draw from, parang are more like looking into more image-based, or you're trying to find it in a way na how you would execute the image. But actually, you can, as a painter, like it's not necessary that you have to burden yourself with thematic influence, or your work doesn't have to be informed by themes. So, for example, like you talk about healing, ganon, like I really love the small works there. I feel na parang dun mas makikita yung parang healing part in the way that it's doesn't feel like too restrictive and there's like no constraint. It feels like very free-flowing, ganyan. So I really like that. But at the same time, I understand also that part of the healing process sometimes is also like taking control and taking charge of oneself. So I can see that you're trying to do that with like the works na may background, with like the figurative works. Honestly, I'm not sure yet about the figurative works, but the abstract works, I think the small ones, you don't have to burden yourself with like feminism or anything like that. But at the same time also, like you can draw from, for example, like from themes of like mother and child instead of like painting an image of an actual mother and child. Kasi alam na namin yun eh. So you have to give us something that we don't know anything about, but it's drawn from your experience. So maybe like in the way that you do abstraction, maybe you draw from like that feeling of love, that feeling of, hindi ko alam yung relationship with your like lola ba, tama ba? Or if you're drawing from that, you know, like just those experiences that allow you to feel the emotion and yeah, you know, all of those things. So maging malaya ka lang with like how you want to do it. Yeah. So, but at the same time, like also like find your grounding force when it comes to a more like committed execution of abstraction.
So, I mean, I'm surprised how all the artists here seems to manifest mga very personal, you know, works. But I agree with Gwen. I think your strongest are actually the more abstract pieces. Because it's really more about, like you said, to combat your depression or parang, your anxiety. So for me, I see that more like an open-ended word. You know, I see it as a flame. You know, something flame in the darkness with all this black background. Yeah, it's very strong. You know, very strong words. There's nothing wrong with strong words.
Nag-agree ako with the both of them. At yung na-appreciate ko about meeting you and seeing your work, nakikita ko sa trabaho yung commitment din na I hope may pagpapatuloy mo. Naisip ko yung comment ni Gwen about the abstract works, yung mas maliliit. Tapos nag-agree ako doon, tapos pinag-iisipan ko kung bakit. Kasi iniisip ko, for me, kung dahil ba yun, sila yung pinaka hindi kailangan ng explanation. Parang, yung siguro yung takeaway na gusto kong i-share, yung tingin kong challenging about highly personal works ay how much you want to talk about it or how much you feel like you have to talk about it. So parang iniisip ko na moving forward, siguro, that's something you can consider na, yun as I said kagabi nung nag-meet tayo, ako yun. Moving forward, baka that's something you can think about na you won't always be there with the audience. So what do you want to communicate that won't require your presence or your explanation? Kasi although malaking bagay yung kapasidad maging vulnerable in your art, yun na hindi siya parang ano yung takeaway ko or ano yung makukuha ko or saan ako pwede mag-anchor outside of your personal